Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome to a brand new installment of Future Langrisser, and let's talk about the next Langrisser update for CN, or known as China. Anyways, by the time recording today is the 4th of July, funny enough. Anyways, I usually record this in advance, so this one will be released on July 8th, 2024 for as the new edition for Future Langrisser. Anyways, this time around, it is a crossover. Like, we have been expecting a new crossover up until now. So, anyways, this time around, the crossover we have here is from the game made by Capcom in the year of 1991, Captain Commando. Two new duo heroes from Captain Commandos are arriving to Australia. Here's the thing. Unlike most of the class we have so far, this collab doesn't have a free unit, meaning we only get two heroes here this time around. So usually in collabs we usually get three, but in this collab we only get two, which is kind of strange, honestly. And also the reason I think I know why. I don't know. It's probably because they want to shift something different for collabs, but as far as I've heard from CN, they do not like that because nobody gets a free unit. That's the one thing that the collabs are appealing to a lot of us, me included. So I was just thinking like, kind of interesting that they didn't go with the free units here. But anyways, this time around the heroes here we'll be seeing will be in duos, like Juro and Leila, for example. But of course, you can say that they're probably gonna be Joe and Connie, depending on how you're gonna call them, like describing as. Like they're basically duo heroes, packed into one hero. So, anyways, let's get around to who they are and what kind of abilities they have. So, and spoiler alert, their abilities aren't as impressive as the Guyver. I don't know. Guyver is actually beloved by Kong, of course, but here's the thing: there are some kids in the collab units nowadays are a bit niche. Like all the days of like the power creep from the collab heroes like Gintoki, whatever, all that stuff is long gone for the collabs moving forward. As far as I know so far, who knows? We may actually see some heroes from the collab lineup that could probably shake something up. Anyways, for now, these are just probably skippable units if you don't care about Captain Commando series as a whole. But once again, if you really like those characters, they're meant for collectors purposes. So, anyways, let's talk about what they do. So, first off, these are the new heroes. So, Captain Commando and Babyhead will be a one singular hero as a duo. And the classes they'll be part of is infantry. Both of them, actually. Both of them are infantry. So yep. So here's how it works for those duo heroes. So the duo heroes Juro and Layla, for example. They change the leaders depending on what class you choose. So both those have the same mechanic. Just to let you know. Except this one has both of the same classes. So it doesn't matter which one you chose, it will be the same. Same as Captain Commando and Babyhead will be part of the protagonists, strategic masters, and heroes of time. And their role is just typical physical DPS with like a 3C where the cooldown will be altered a bit because the reason I said like the cooldown altering is because their 3C after use, like for 2 turns you're gonna notice that the cooldown will be a bit like difficult to drain. So that means they'll have to wait for at least one additional turn before they can use their 3C again, which honestly, on paper, it sounds a bit underwhelming. Well, we'll see how they play out because as far as I've heard, these characters are not promising when it comes to like power creep or whatever. They don't fit the bill, unfortunately. Next up, we got Mac the Knife and Genzu the Ninja. And the classes they'll be part of is assassins, both of them. And I gotta say, even though these two are dual heroes, they actually do something that's actually pretty good, because they do have guard ignore, and has a walk and run mode depending on what kind of situation you're in. So yeah, basically, if you're in run mode, you enter run mode if you use all your mobility. So and also when that happens, you will not be able to move, but be able to act again. I think, as far as I've seen so far. And for factions, he's part of Protagonists, Meteor Strike, and Heroes of Time. And also, just keep in mind, both those have protagonists. Doesn't mean they're faction buffers. So, just to let you know. I mean, honestly, I don't think they're doing any collabs with like other faction buffs, like besides time. Like we did see a couple of them back then, with Joshua, Yusuke, and also maybe if you count AO, but she comes back every 6 months. Yeah, those characters are actually gone for good. I don't think they're gonna come back unless they do the rerun again, which is unlikely since they haven't done reruns ever since. And also, please Zilong, please rerun some of the old events that haven't got rerun yet. But anyways, the first world already got rerun. Not sure why the others do not get their rerun yet, but it won't be this update. But I hope in the next, maybe in the future, we'll be seeing something like a rerun of the old events. But I highly doubt that they'll do that. But anyways, we're gonna move on. Moving on, let's talk about the new casting skills that will be coming on this update. So there are some that are noteworthy actually. So for one, the first one we have is Grin Shield. Before entering combat, the enemy's mobility up effects are converted into mobility down effects for one turn. The Cold Shield gains an additional effect when placed, and it's a command aura for allies. And anybody within 2 blocks of it will gain the attack and int by 10%. That's a nice boost there. So as long as they're within the shield, like the grand shield placed, they're gonna get a bit of an offensive boost for their attack and int, depending on what unit you're using. Next up, we got Olivier from Trails in the Sky collab. We haven't seen this guy for quite some time now because we already got his rerun in the past, so I'm not expecting him to come back again, but it's nice to see him getting casting here. Anyways, his casting is attack plus 10%. Every time a skill is used to damage an enemy, skill damage plus 5%, and this can increase up to 15% if it's used 3 times. And the cooldown of the skill is reduced by 1 turn, and you can reduce up to 3 turns cooldown reduced depending on how much you use, how many skills you use, of course. So yeah, it's a nice boost for Olivier. I mean, yeah. Anyways, Olivier, I could see that this has a lot of potential in him. So he will be able to dish out skills much faster than he normally would with this, as long as you use more often. Next up, we got Gustav. I noticed that Mistress might actually like Gustav a lot. And also, I've heard Ozma did try to use Gustav lately for Waifu Wars. But, anyways, Gustav is getting a casting here. So, in plus 5%, when you use a skill on self, the cooldown of it increased by 1. And after use, can move 2 additional blocks and attack again. So, this is like a essentially act again, but in exchange, your cooldown of the skill will increase by 1 turn. So, yeah, you might have thought that this was cooldown reduction, but no, this is a cooldown increase when you do it this way. But of course, as a trade-off, you get like a act again kind of mechanic to herself, so that's actually pretty nice. And finally, we have Hein. For surprisingly, this patch brings 2 SRs added to the casting lineup. So yeah, I think this is the first time they did this. Like, well, if you include the Matthew one, but I don't think that I'll count that one because Matthew is a different kind of league when it comes to rarity. So, anyways, Hein's casting increases by 5% when ending action, gains 1 additional int stack from talent and 1 random additional flame or thunder stack if his talent is Wisdom of the Black Dragon. So depending on what form Hein is using, if you're using his typical form, like the regular one, you get 1 additional int stack from the talent. But if you're a SP Hein, you'll instead get 1 random flame or thunder stack instead. So that's actually pretty neat for Hein. So overall, do I believe Hein is a bit better with his casting? I would say yes, but is he viable for PvP? Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see how players go in PvP in Apex. Of course, I won't be able to witness it because I don't have CN access. So, anyways, time will tell. Next up, let's talk about a new exclusive equipment that will be coming up in this update. Last time we talked about Goon's armor. So this time around, it is Patricia's exclusive getting added. So this time around, Patricia's weapon is like an exclusive weapon, and int plus 10%. The soul burning plague applied by Patricia herself lasts one more turn. After actively attacking to deal damage, there's a 100% chance to inflict one additional stack of soul burning plague to the enemy. So you could tell that this weapon is actually pretty good for Patricia because for one, the Soul Burning Plague will stay on the enemy for one more turn, as long as it's applied to her only, of course. Alex can apply it too, but only Patricia, just so you know. And also, after actively attacking to deal damage, she will apply one more stack of Soul Burning Plague to the enemy. So yeah, depending on what's your start level on your weapon, it's a guarantee. So I gotta say, Soul Burning Plague is actually a thing for Patricia. So yeah, if you ask me, do you want to get this? I would say yes, for sure, because this weapon is strong, like literally strong. And finally, some additional information when it comes to banners. So I did give a a bit of a digging in the CN's website. Well, of course, not the wiki, but the website itself. There's going to be a new Reda banner for Grand Shield and Tyrantel. And there's also a new Destiny banner for Andrio, Hilda, and Patricia. I would probably think that's an Empire theme, Empire theme kind of thing, Empire themed Destiny banner. And we also have a Dark Reincarnation Destiny banner for Zerida, Tatalia, and Girl in the Shell. We also have the Princess Alliance Destiny banner for Rosalia, Emilia, and Suzy White. We haven't seen those three for quite a while because they are kind of not the best units now, but Suzy White is an exception actually. But anyways, seeing Emilia back into the banner lineup is nice because we haven't seen her for quite a while now. But of course, Emilia is kind of aged out, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe Zilong could probably put focus on Emilia next time when it comes to SP. Who knows? I'm probably giving them too much ideas, but anyways, originally that was actually my idea. Like, I kind of wish that Emilia gets something nice when it comes to SP. Originally I thought she's gonna have like a SP skill that enables her to allow her soldiers to attack with her on the further distance. But since Zilong released a soldier that technically does that, yeah, that concept is kind of dead. I may have to rethink of what kind of skill Emilia gets in this one. Anyways, a classic Destiny banner for Rachel, Lana, and Tiaras. And my dog is barking in the background. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I'm gonna end off this episode. So hope you all have a good day, and hopefully this information is informative to most of you. And see y'all next time.